announced that Anisa and I are stepping away from Creator Clash.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've had a good day. I want to immediately start off the video with an apology. I didn't think I would do almost a back-to-back iDubbbz video, but you know, Creator Clash 3 is cooling. And when I say it's cooling, I mean we've got loads of stuff to go over. The state of Creator Clash 3, if it's happening or not, more fighters speaking out about the event, and Anisa and iDubbbz actually speaking about it on their podcast. So actually, I'm not sorry whatsoever, because we've got some great stuff to get into, stuff that I know all of you will enjoy, and if that is the case, you better subscribe right now, and without further ado, let's dive straight into all of this. I'd like to start off very quickly with the state of Creator Clash 3, what's going on, what's happening, are the new fighters been announced, all of that lovely stuff. So firstly, the Creator Clash 3 account has not posted anything since the update that Ian and Anisa would be taking a step back. For an event that is in such a dire position, you'd think they'd be more willing to update their fans, the audience, the people that have bought tickets to go and see this event. And I say people have bought tickets, the very few minority of people that have actually decided to buy a ticket to go. Not that anybody would be buying tickets at this point anymore, because we literally don't know two of the fighters who are going to be fighting. Since Lena and Harley have taken a step back, they still haven't announced the two fighters that are going to be taking their place. I mean, this is deeply concerning. There's just little over a month until this event, and these fighters haven't even been announced. There's been no communication or updates whatsoever. It's just been incredibly poor. And of course, previously when we spoke about Creator Clash, there have been lots of fighters recently that have been speaking out about the event and even against the event.
As Ian and Ethan are now doing this YouTube battle against each other, going through this drama war, Creator Clash is receiving a lot of collateral damage.
See, it's so funny. Everyone's saying like, "Oh, I hate H3." How H3 actually got Creator Clash to get some negative air. They see, this is like iDubbbz made a video about them.
Yeah,
he, the founder of Creator Clash, made a video about these other people.
And it very much seems like this trend of content creators that are meant to be fighting on this quote-unquote charity event are coming out to speak about this event and make comments about it more and more. There's a comment to LAB saying, "I love the promo of a small card collector and no mention of Creator Clash. Damn, this event is in a dumpster. It got a love heart," and he responded with, "It might be at this point." And I honestly don't blame him, I don't blame any of these content creators speaking out about it, because it just seems like the communication is practically non-existent, they don't know what's going on, and LAB of all people literally has no idea who he's even meant to be fighting in the next month, because originally he was meant to be fighting Harley. I honestly feel incredibly bad for the people that are fighting on this event. They've been so incredibly mistreated, they have no idea what's going on, and I feel especially bad and even more bad for the people that have no idea who they're fighting. That must be an awful position to be put in. And I mean, this is all under the pretense if Creator Clash 3 even goes ahead. The next thing we're about to talk about actually discusses this quite a bit, and it's from Ethan Klein directly. "Anisa, how's Creator Clash going? I heard it's been postponed because only 2,000 tickets sold. Ian, you might have lost your reputation, success, money, friends, dignity, and a few brain cells, but you've cemented your new legacy as the worst fight promoter of all time." Of course, before we discuss this, I do want to say, and let's be reasonable people here, that we should take this with a pinch of salt. This is only directly coming from Ethan Klein. This hasn't come out from anybody else yet. He hasn't posted any evidence. We're just going off of what Ethan Klein is saying, and under the pretense that if it is true, then, you know, I can 100% buy this. I mean, currently at the moment, there have been no updates, people don't even know who they're fighting, zero communication, the majority of the fighters are coming out to speak out about the event or even against the event, so yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if this got postponed, maybe even new fighters being brought on, the option for other fighters to leave the event, or it just being cancelled fully. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to say it for the first time in this video at least, is that this is all iDubbbz's fault. If he just simply waited to release that Ethan Klein video after Creator Clash 3, Creator Clash 3 wouldn't be in such a bad position right now. Of course, it would be still suffering from stuff to do with Creator Clash 2, for example, and other factors, but it wouldn't be in this position whatsoever. Harley and all these other content creators probably wouldn't have dropped out of the event, and they wouldn't be speaking loads of shit about the event they're about to be fighting on. And on that, like I said towards the beginning of the video, I said that Anisa and iDubbbz had actually spoke about this on their most recent episode of their podcast, which fortunately lots of people have been uploading clips to on Twitter. Genuinely, the things they're about to talk about are pretty damn interesting. I do want to preface this by saying that the following clips will be blurred because this was taken from iDubbbz's podcast Patreon thing, and the clips have been circulating around, and I just want to avoid all issues there.
I think it's in better hands.
Yeah, it's definitely in better hands. I mean, I'm not going to say it's definitely in better hands. that's disingenuous. I don't think it's definitely in better hands. I think it's in capable hands.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that is not a good sign. That is not a good sign whatsoever. They're just in capable hands, not in better hands, just capable hands. I mean, that says quite a lot here. There's a lot of doubt being put onto this, lots of negativity. You know, this just does not look good whatsoever.
That's a good way of putting it.
We did genuinely step away. Like, I think there's people that are like, it's a lie. No, we did. We have no control over anything anymore, to the point where I'm like texting people like, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, you gotta trust us. Like, that's like the level of
I mean, if this is the case, I find this incredibly ironic, because this is exactly the same thing Anisa and iDubbbz were doing to all the people that were fighting on Creator Clash 3 in the first place. They're just getting a taste of their own medicine there. But this is not filling me with hope whatsoever that this is being run effectively, that there is progress going on behind the scenes. You know, this just does not look good for Creator Clash 3 whatsoever. There's no positive spin here.
Yeah, I'm stoked. It is, I don't know, feels like a little bit of a weight has been lifted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
iDubbbz, that was a weight you chose to bear. You chose to do Creator Clash 3, you and Anisa chose to do that. No one forced you to, especially after the failure of Creator Clash 2, nobody wanted you to, and you did it anyways. That is your own fault. You then decided to release a H3 content cop on top of that, fucking your own event. Again, that was your choice. It made it 10 times harder for you. Again, all your choice. So, you know, I don't feel any sympathy or congratulations that, yeah, giving your event over, you know, has lifted a weight off your shoulders, the weight that you put there in the first place.
it's I think it's going to be a new chapter for us, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of content creation and a lot of just authentically. I can just tell that you are ready to be yourself.
Spread my wings.
Yeah, spread your wings.
I mean, is it really though? You've just given up Creator Clash 3, you're now doing content cops and content deputies again, and you're beefing with Ethan Klein. Not really a fresh start, you've just gone back to do what you said that you wouldn't be doing, which is content cops. So, you know, there's no progress, there's no authenticity here, you know, you're just a fuckhead.
I announced that Anisa and I are stepping away from Creator Clash. You know, I think there are multiple reasons, but I think the primary reason is just to, you know, separate our, I guess, shit stirring and drama nature from the event.
This was something that you caused. Only you caused this. The event wouldn't be in such dire straits if you could have just waited a few months to drop your content cop. You could have run a, you know, I'm not going to say successful event because it probably would have failed horrifically, but you could have run the event without all of this drama and then dropped your content cop. You could have done both. You didn't need to do any of this. You put yourself, all your fighters, and everyone else in a 10 times harder position.
Especially since I'm not fighting, it's like it felt like it was more of a detriment to the event than it was a like benefit, and we're okay with that. And we, you know, we wish the company well, and we wish the fighters well. We want everything to, you know, go well, because I mean, ultimately, that's, I think, a lot of what makes Creator Clash special.
iDubbbz, Anisa, what does make Creator Clash special? I'd really like to know, because in my eyes, what makes Creator Clash special is the fact that it can fuck up every single opportunity it has to actually pull off a semi-decent event. And they are talking about it here as if Creator Clash 3 is going to go swimmingly well, that things are going to go well, just because they've taken a step back, that has fixed all the issues, when they could not be more horrifically wrong. They've taken a step back, and it's been basically dead silence. We still don't know certain people who's going to be fighting on the event. We have no idea if this event has been postponed or not. We have no idea what's going on whatsoever. There's no hope for this event. It's a dead end.
It's just these, you know, fighters who've never fought before, these influencers,
Yep.
you know, kicking ass.
You know, yeah. Also, I just want to say, like, we don't regret it.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to make that very clear. Like, this stepping away from the company is not because we regret what we've done. We needed to do what we did. I'm very proud of what you've done.
Anisa, what exactly has iDubbbz done bar fuck his own reputation? Outside of the Hassan Orbiters and Glazers, everyone can see that iDubbbz has screwed over his reputation more. He's proved himself to be an incredibly disingenuous person, you know, including himself crying to make himself seem empathetic and sympathetic towards Ethan Klein, whilst, you know, not bringing things up like the CPS score, getting his worth detractors in that video on him. I mean, it hasn't done anything against Ethan, it's just made iDubbbz look 10 times worse. And all the clips of iDubbbz on Hassan's stream make him look worse. All his actions and behaviour on the content deputy make him look worse. What's he exactly done here but dig himself and you a bigger hole?
I'm very proud of, you know.
I am too. And, you know, it's still, you know, it's hard, right? Like I was going to talk about it on Hassan's stream, which, but I don't know, he was in some spiral about the content nuke. So I didn't want to.
I mean, were you going to bring anything up? Because I mean, you just sat there in the corner basically saying nothing, looking nervous towards Hassan. Like, it didn't seem like you were doing anything.
I mean, it's very upsetting. Like, I watched the content nuke. Well, Ian tried to force me to watch the content nuke, and it's very disingenuous.
I mean, isn't that really ironic and really funny that Anisa is sitting there saying the content nuke on Hassan was incredibly disingenuous, when that's exactly what people have been saying about iDubbbz's content cop on H3, by cutting context to the clips, not mentioning the CPS call, by bringing his worst detractors on there, by baiting sympathy and empathy, by including a clip of him crying, and being disingenuous overall.
So it's like very hard to like not do not regret at all how things have gone. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I know people are like, cope, but I truly am genuinely the happiest I've ever been in my life right now. I feel so freed. Just the idea that like we don't have to be silent. The being silent was fucking it's like soul crushing.
But this was the advice you were giving out on your podcast a few months ago, that, you know, you should be silent, that you shouldn't always be responding and feeding into the drama and stuff. That's exactly what you're doing now. It's really funny how easily Anisa and iDubbbz flip-flop. They have no moral integrity whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't realize how important that was to me, and I think us in general, is, you know, feeling like we can't fucking, like we have to, I don't know, like censor ourselves for the, you know, for other people, for
constantly censoring ourselves for other people.
And it's hard. I just don't think we're that personality type.
No, definitely not me.
Yeah,
you're more that way than I am. It was hard for me.
Anisa, don't worry about that. You don't need to tell us that it's been very hard for you to stay silent. As we can see on your Twitter the past few days, you've been spewing some of the most random bullshit I have ever seen. Like some of the funniest, most deranged tweets about the situation that come across like you're having this huge mental breakdown over it. It's hilarious.
Back in the day, it would have really upset me. I think like a combination of therapy and drugs. But even Ethan, like on his podcast, was talking about me putting stuff in your oatmeal or saying that I'm whatever he's saying.
Right.
None of that bothers me.
Oh yeah, clearly, Anisa. It's not like you've been profusely typing and tweeting about this situation. It's not like you're constantly talking about it, constantly getting things wrong, constantly getting angry, throwing around buzzwords to try and just completely slander Ethan Klein. It's definitely not getting under your skin whatsoever. This is just such a dumb thing to say, because there are so many tweets that can counter this. Like, half of this stuff that they've said in this podcast, there's just so much stuff out there that can counter this and can be bashed over their heads with.
Like, I feel like I'm invincible. I don't, and maybe it's because I don't really care what my internet, like, I don't really, I'm not here to seek a career online really anymore. I mean, like, I'll do the podcast with you and I like to post pictures or whatever, but like, I genuinely don't care.
I love when a person who supposedly doesn't care has to keep reiterating that they don't care to make sure that you really understand that they don't care and that they definitely don't care. Her perspective on this is just crazily funny to me as well, that she thinks that she's this invincible person, that she doesn't care anymore because she doesn't really want to seek a career online, which is really funny because she's sitting across her husband, somebody who has a career online.
I mean, there's a winner and there's a loser.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think once you kind of ascend past that idea where it's like, yeah, I'm like definitely a loser to like a huge swath of people online.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't really care to be a winner in their eyes.
I don't care.
So that does make it easier, just knowing there really isn't much of a battle to.
I think also when you don't
respect
the person, like
it doesn't mean a whole lot.
No offense to Kleins, but
I don't want to win. You don't want to win, bro.
Dude, win at any cost.
You don't want to win this war that you're in.
The Twitter, you don't want
you started.
Yeah, you don't want the Twitter
You
news.
can't start the war and not go in for the win.
So then what's the point outside of, just wanting to vocalize your points? Because surely you don't just want to scream into the void. Surely you want some people outside of maybe Hassan Orbiters to actually understand your points, understand your reasonings, understand the things you're saying, which people aren't. So what's the point then? If you don't care about winning and you'll just be happily bashed, why are you doing this? It just comes across as a humiliation ritual.
It's
Going for the win. Wait. The content deputy's your last video about Ethan Klein? What? Don't you want to win?
you want to win. He's saying all this crazy stuff about you. But it is like I think a big part of it is like just not respecting him or his opinions. I think back in the day, I remember like people threatening to make hate videos or making hate videos. There was that.
At this point, I don't trust a word that comes out of iDubbbz or Anisa's mouth when it comes to making videos. What they're going to make, what they're not going to make, right? So them not going to be making a future Ethan video, I don't really believe whatsoever. But let's just say that is the truth. I find this really funny because Ethan has really easily disproved a lot of the things they're saying. And what, you're telling me that they have no plan on responding? Probably because they can't respond.
One creep show art or whatever.
Yeah.
And back in the day, like if I would see a video about me, it would it would hurt so bad. And now like when I see clips of like either Ethan or tweets or whatever, like it is so genuinely funny most of the time that it's just kind of fun, which is neat to be at that place. But I do think the content cop and the content deputy is like in like no life to that shit. Like he was just like on the computer every day, all day, and I was just like cooking and like I was trad wifing it up. I was like, I had beautiful dinners for you every night. I brought you down lunch. I was cleaning the house. I was keeping it.
It was awesome.
Locking it down so he could just.
Bro, Ian, you need to get out of there, bro. She's fucking ruining, bro.
Again, this is a case of, you can keep saying that you find all the hate videos about you and all these tweets funny, but it's very clear that you do genuinely care. The responses that you're putting out online tell the opposite of what you're saying here. And I find it hilarious that iDubbbz put all that effort into those videos for them to be absolutely shockingly shit and to destroy the remaining scraps of his reputation and his quote-unquote charity event. I think that's very funny. That's how iDubbbz and Anisa feels. They're just living in a complete and utter fantasy world, and I'd love to see where it goes next, because, apparently they're not going to be making another Ethan Klein video, but they will happily tweet about him, hop on live streams, I'm assuming, so, I can't wait to see where that is going. The only other thing that I can really say in this video is there was a little bit of backwards and forwards on Instagram with Ethan Klein, and Ethan Klein then promoted Willie Mac Show's iDubbbz video, but apart from that, there really isn't much to talk about. I only really wanted to make this video because, we've got these clips from the podcast and a bunch of other Creator Clash news. But if you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and please feel free to comment down below your thoughts, as I'd love to see what you have to say about these podcast clips. But I've been your host Samuel, and I will catch you in the next YouTube video, and hopefully this time it won't be on iDubbbz.